Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Adam Poe, Director of Research at Staffing Industry Analysts, and it's my great pleasure to be joined by Denis Pennell, Managing Director of the World Employment Confederation, to discuss his prognosis for the staffing industry in 2020 and 2021. Denis, it's lovely to have you speak, and could you just give us your idea about how you see the industry this year and next?
Yes, thank you, and thanks for the invitation to speak. Well, as you know, we have been through a very difficult period of time over the last couple of months. If we compare this crisis to the last one we faced in 2008, this one has been, faster and deeper. If you look at Europe, for instance, on average, the agency work market decreased by 40% in April. Due, of course, mainly to the lockdown measures. So this is, a decrease we have never faced. So really unprecedented times. The good news is that we now start to see some lockdown measures being eased, and therefore the economy, starting again. And we do hope that this number of minus 40% will be lower for the next couple of months. This is actually what we are seeing now for a couple of countries. In May, the figures are improving. Still, of course, very negative, but to a lower extent. So we do hope that indeed in the next future, the economy will be able to be back on track. But for the full year, as you know, we don't like to do a forecast at the World Employment Confederation, but clearly it will not be a good year for the industry. Because we do think that it will take time for the full economy to recover. We know that, tourism, cross-border tourism will not resume anytime soon. There will still be some restrictions for traveling, for quarantine measures. So many sectors will still be impacted by the crisis. On top of that, we are seeing more and more now big companies announcing, mass of dismissals, airline companies especially. So clearly this will have an impact on the labor market. So the situation will be difficult until the end of the year. Clearly we are moving from a sanitary crisis to an economic and social crisis. So the rest of the year will be difficult. But of course, as an industry, we'll have a key role to play there.
Got you. And Denis, we set out a 10-step program to help businesses recover. Now, step 6 was taking advantage of government aid, as you can see. How do you see the gradual unwinding of support schemes like the UK furlough scheme or the German Kurzarbeit scheme? What effect do you think those will have?
Well, this is a very important question because looking backwards, what we have been struggling for is really for the agency work, workers to be covered by these supporting measures and the relief measures put in place by governments. And to be honest, in most of the countries, we have been successful in making sure that our workers were able to benefit from these measures. So in a way, we managed to mitigate the negative impact on the crisis on our own workers. But of course, we know these measures will not last forever. So in a way, the exiting from this measure will be very important for us. And what we are trying to do now is really to prepare the workers for that. So investing in training to make sure that as many workers, as many agency workers have the right skills to re-enter the labor market at the end of these measures. That's the best way to secure future employment for the agency workers.
And a key theme that we seem to be seeing is digitization. As you can see, the CEO of Microsoft thought that there was 2 years worth of digital transformation in the 2 months of the crisis. What's your view on digitization? Because obviously that will have a big effect on the industry.
Well, first of all, I think our industry has been at the forefront of digitalization, and that's also the good, the good lessons learned from the crisis. In many countries, actually, our industry was still able to operate despite the lockdown measures, because many staffing companies were already using digital tools, whether it's online video interviews for candidates, using e-signature for signing, labor contracts, online training courses, of course. So what we have seen is that despite the fact that some branches had to close, physically in some countries, the industry was still able to operate. So I think we have been, as an industry, we have demonstrated that as an industry, we have already used digitalization to a larger extent. But of course, in the future, the crisis indeed will force companies to even go one step beyond in terms of digitalization. And I think it will help us there again as an industry, because what we are seeing is that actually user companies that were reluctant to use online solutions or digital solutions, now they are fully convinced of the importance of these solutions. So I think it will actually probably indeed speed up the use by the user companies of digital solutions, but also facilitate and speed up, the way we work together with user companies, thanks to this digitalization.
Denis, thank you very much.